Seth Dolly with EUsports.com here on the phone with head football coach Tim Camp. Coach, how do you like opening the season with such a big game and one that could potentially set the tone for the rest of the season?
Well, I think it's a great opportunity for our football program. You know, anytime that you can get a number 2 team into LeGrand, our kids typically play well at home, and we have great expectations for our football program. You know, it just happens to be Southern Oregon, you know, which makes it even a bigger deal in the state of Oregon. And you know, to be able to open up with them, the biggest thing that we talk about all the time is being able to you got to win your first game, you know, and that kind of sets the tone for it. And it would even be better if you can beat Southern Oregon the first game. So I think it would set the tone big time for our season. And our kids, you know, to be able to go out and play against, I feel we match up well with Southern. I always have felt that, and we just got to settle down. We just got to play, and you got to do the things that we always talk about. You know, you have to have the 4 phases of the game. You got to be able to offensively put points up, and defensively you got to be able to tackle them and slow them down, and then you have to be very effective in the kicking game. And if you're able to do that, it creates the 4th phases, which is our sideline. You know, everybody's got to be dialed in the entire time.
This is just the second night game that you've had since you've become a coach here at Eastern. What kind of atmosphere do you think that's going to create on Saturday night?
Well, I think, you know, you look at the College of Idaho game, I think that was probably the most people have ever watched an Eastern Oregon football game, and the atmosphere, and our kids were so excited, you know, to be able to see the people coming and to get the community backing, our student body, you know, just to be able to create something like that for a small college, I think is unbelievable. So I know our kids are excited. I'm excited. I love night games. I was all the way in college, we played all of our California games or night games, and I loved them, you know, and I think it gives the kids an opportunity to kind of rest up and be able to anticipate what's going to happen. And you know, I think the community is going to be a huge deal to be able to go do what you want to do during the daytime, but at the same time, there's a big-time college football game going to happen out here at 6 o'clock against, you know, you got the number 2 ranked team and a team that's not quite in the top 25, but at the same time, two of the top-tier small college football programs in the country, I think.
You're facing a team that led the Frontier Conference last season in scoring offense and total offense. How do you plan on slowing the Raiders down on Saturday?
Well, I think that's a key word, slowing them down. You know, I think that we can do that offensively, you know, by keeping them off the field. And third downs is going to be a huge deal on both sides of the football. And I think if our offense is able to do what I believe that we can do, what we've been able to show in this conference for the last, you know, several years, our job is going to be able to keep the defense on the sideline and make sure that we're moving the chains and be efficient. And then when obviously the defense gets their opportunities, we gotta take the ball away. We gotta tackle. It really just goes back to fundamentals. You know, I think that being able to run to the football is going to be a big factor in this game, and that's what we've been working on all the way through spring ball to fall camp. And but I do believe that offense will play a big part of this about slowing Southern Oregon's offense down.
Coach, you let a 21-point lead slip away last season in Ashland. Do you remind your team of that game, or is that just something that you try to forget?
Well, I think that's something I try and remind myself of. You know, I think that's the head coach. I don't think it's the players. Obviously, there was plays that could have been made, but at the same time, I think I remind myself of it more than anybody. You know, just to make sure that we're doing the right thing. We are being who we are, going in, coming out. We're running our offense, our defense, and being able to take advantage of what the opposing team gives us. So, yeah, I guess I do remind myself of it. Not so much the team. I think that they remember that we have a lot of guys that played in that game, and but at the same time, I think that for us to be able to start fast and continuing to do what we do and us be who we are is going to be the big key in this game. Okay, keep the pedal down. Let's go.